All right, everybody, welcome in. Hold on, clearing the throat right off the start here. Got to clear the throat. Welcome into the Rant. I'm Pugs Moran here in the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios in the beautiful E Gallery in Dallas's Design District. Every day we get together here and we do talk radio for normal people. That's what I call it. Why? Why do I call it talk radio for normal people? Because we don't get bogged down in the stupid political divisions that seem to occupy every what starts out normal conversation in America. But everything gets boiled down to who'd you vote for? And no, he's this. And no, we don't do that here. Talk radio for normal people. We get together, we talk about shit. And I don't care if it has nothing to do with, this party or that party. We just talk like normal people experiencing this world together. I don't give a shit how you voted. That's why we call it talk radio for normal people. I'd also like to encourage you to like, follow, subscribe, all of that good stuff on Facebook and YouTube. All right, we got that out of the way. Trash trivia. That's another big thing we do. I want to mention that to you. We do trash trivia on Tuesday nights. My voice is still not great. Still not great. It started to get really wiggy last week, and I was quiet all weekend, but we're going to try and muscle this out. I've been here before. Oh, my goodness. My voice is terrible. You people know that. You listen all these days. Trash trivia tomorrow night. Come join me and all of our good trivia friends. It's building a little crowd. Won't you be a part of it? Still room, plenty of room for new folks. Trash trivia happens every Tuesday night. 4060 Beltline Road in Addison, Texas at the back nine. The back nine, 4060 Beltline Road, right between Midway and Marsh. Right there on Beltline. Come one, come all. We give away gummies. We've got these really good bags of gummies. Legal, just so you know, they're legal. They'll knock you on your ass. We had a gummy incident over the weekend. At my house. I got some gummies that, just at night. Sometimes if I can't sleep, I'll take one. I don't know. Maybe I miscounted. I don't know. There's a missing gummy. There was a missing gummy, and my 16-year-old slept all day Saturday. So I'm just putting the pieces together. I didn't ask directly. Now, I don't want to ask directly. Here's why. He's always pretty honest. All about these kinds of things, he's always honest. My deal is that if I ask you a direct question that you don't want to tell the truth about, I promise I will not fucking freak out on you. I will be disappointed, but I will not freak out on you. So I have not asked him yet, but pretty sure I know where the lost gummy went. How was your weekend, everybody? We have a good weekend. We had a birthday weekend. It was E, the proprietor here at the E Gallery. It was his birthday, so we did some birthday stuff. We melded the families together, if you will. What do we do on Saturday for his birthday? Well, we watched horse racing. That's right, we watched the Preakness because he's a horseman. Then later that night at Churchill Downs, he had a horse racing, so we watched that at 9 o'clock. Rocking a halo. A horse fell. We're watching E's race. He's got this expensive racehorse, and it's running at Churchill Downs on Saturday night. Luckily, it occurred in the horse race went off. Horse race is only 3 minutes. Horse race went off right in between the second and third period of the Stars game, so we didn't miss anything there. But we watched this horse, his horse, Rock and a Halo is his horse's name. And man, it was pinned up against the inside rail. And a horse in front of it went down. Now we still don't know. We don't know. The horse went down. The rider was thrown. Rocking a Halo, our horse had to jump over the horse. Finished in fourth place. Would have won the damn race. We feel would have won. It was one of the favorites. We thought Rocking a Halo would have won, but the damn horse fell in front of it. I've never seen that before. I mean, I've seen it, but not live. I've seen it in videos, but not live. It was scary. All right, that was our weekend. How was your weekend? Peter's here. Peter says the Preakness was great. The Preakness was memorable. I'll say that about the Preakness. Here's why it wasn't great. This is why I'll push back on you there, Peter. None of the Derby horses were in it. There was no Triple Crown. The horse that won the Kentucky Derby didn't even bother showing up for the Preakness. What the hell is going on? It's all about the Triple Crown. I thought, nah, they didn't run it. They didn't run the Derby winning horse, didn't run in the Preakness. There were only 9 horses in the Preakness. Journalism, the one that shit the bed in the Derby, Journalism was supposed to be the big winner in the Derby, but it shit the bed. Journalism won, ran away with the Preakness. But as I said, I watched the Preakness with a whole bunch of horse people, with a whole bunch of people that own horses. They were losing their shit at the Preakness. I don't know if you guys saw it, but 2 horses, Journalism, who won the race, basically just bumped into other horses. I mean, every horse person that was in attendance when I was watching that race was standing up screaming that that's a foul and that they're going to strip them of the win and all that. And they didn't. They left it alone. The race marshals were like, no, that was fine. But I'll tell you, the horsemen in the tent, I don't know shit about horses, but I was with a bunch of people who own horses, and they were like, nope, no way. That horse, Journalism, did not win the Preakness. That horse cheated. But there we go. There we go. All right, guys. What do you say we get started with the show? What is the Rant? As I say, it's a talk radio show hosted by me. I perform it as a stream of consciousness. It's just me talking, hanging out with you folks in the chat room. So come one, come all. The show will play out in 4 quarters. I do it in 4 distinct segments. I do this because, as I mentioned, it's a stream of consciousness, and I need to remember where I am. So if I can break it down into 4 quarters, I'll have an easier time with my stream of consciousness. The first thing we talk about here on the show is I go through some of the events that have helped shape this day. We call it antecedently on this day. It's quarter 1. Quarter 2 is birthdays. Celebrities having birthdays, notable quotables, historical figures born unto this plane on this day. That's what we do there. Quarter 3 is deads, people who died on this day. Hey, remember when so-and-so died? Where'd they go? Heaven or hell? That's what we do with quarter 3. This person died. Where do we think they went? And we discuss what their life was like and whether or not they were pieces of shit or good people, good humans. Quarter 4 is all the hot topics, current events, and all the other things. Clearing my throat again. All right, what do you say we get started here? Let's not delay. This is the... Oh, by the way, I also want to tell you we've got a live, live to tape. Diddy or Didn't He, Day 6, which is our new nightly podcast, which we're doing for RadioMisfits.com. Follow Radio Misfits on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. Radio Misfits, follow them if you want to watch the video version of Diddy or Didn't He. We record it with video, but really it's a podcast. Do what I do. I like to listen to it on RadioMisfits.com. But if you must watch it, if you need to see me, then you can go to Radio Misfits on Facebook or Radio Misfits on YouTube. That is where Diddy or Didn't He will be exclusively posted. All right. Tonight, we got a full panel show. We got to break down all the stuff that went down last week. A lot of crazy stuff went down. Some of these shows are just me. I call them breakdown shows. Some episodes of Diddy or Didn't He is just going to be me, and I'm going to go with a fine-tooth comb through everything that was testified to on the stand that day. I will offer my little, thoughts on it, but we move on. Those shows are so that we can all stay up to speed on what is actually happening. Then we're going to do panel shows. A couple of times a week are going to be panel shows where it's just a group of people getting together and offering their thoughts on the whole of the situation. Tonight is going to be one of them panel shows. It'll be myself, James Parker from WBAP Afternoons right here in Dallas, 93.3, and Headcrack from Dish Nation. Headcrack every night, Dish Nation, 10:30, coast to coast. 14 years, he says he's been doing Dish Nation. All right, very good for him. So that's the panel show tonight. Diddy or Didn't He? Excuse me. Diddy or Didn't He? Day 6 trial recap. Tonight is going to be a panel show with myself and James Parker and Headcrack. We're also I need Headcrack to explain to me the role of Kim Gordon. He had Kim Gordon. Is it Kim Gordon? No. What's her name? I don't even know her name. This is why I need Headcrack. Kim Gordon's from Sonic Youth. Is Kim Gordon also the woman who gave Diddy a bunch of kids? Because she plays an outsized role in all of this, even though she's dead. So hopefully we'll get some information on that. Headcrack has been teasing some stuff that he knows. So that's tonight, Diddy or Didn't He? You can find it on Radio Misfits or Radio Misfits on YouTube or Radio Misfits on Facebook. Enjoy. Okay, very good. Diddy or Didn't He? What do you say we get started with today's show? Today's rant. Let's run this through, huh? Welcome to the rant, ladies and gentlemen. I am Pugs Moran. It is, in fact, the 19th day of May, year of our Lord, 2024. I almost said 2024. It's 2025. May 19th is the 139th day of the year. There are 226 left of these until the end of the year. So as we like to say around these parts, get those New Year's Eve plans started. Quarter one, segment one, whatever you're comfortable with. It's antecedently on this day, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's talk about some things that happened on this day. On this day in 1536, Anne Boleyn, the second wife of Henry VIII of England, is beheaded for adultery, treason, and incest. Bunch of trumped up charges. Think of what a piece of garbage this guy was, just killing people, just women that he loved, just killed them. Why? Because they couldn't get pregnant. Turns out it was all him. He was the one shooting blanks. But back then, the woman had to die. Antecedently, on this day, 1536, Anne Boleyn is beheaded for adultery, treason, and incest. Antecedently, on this day, in the year 1848, the Mexican-American War, Mexico ratifies the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, ending the war and ceding California, Nevada, Utah, and parts of 4 other modern-day U.S. states to the United States for $15 million. Utah? What? Mexicans wanted Utah? Please. Antecedently on this day in 1950, a barge containing munitions destined for Pakistan explodes in the harbor of South Amboy, New Jersey, devastating the city. 1950? Amboy, New Jersey got blown up by a boat. I didn't know that. I never heard about that. That's a pretty big, seems like a big event. No movies, no nothing. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Antecedently on this day in 1962, at a birthday salute to U.S. President John F. Kennedy, this was at Madison Square Garden. This is the Marilyn Monroe came out and saying, "Happy birthday." All right, here's what's interesting about this. We're going to check this out. So JFK is the president. They're throwing a big party for him at Madison Square Garden. I don't know if this is televised. But look, so I got some problems with Trump's little birthday fucking parade that's supposed to, it's very Soviet. I don't like it. But when people criticize that shit, just remember, we used to do this. Kennedy's birthday at Madison Square Garden was like a television event. Here's Marilyn Monroe.
On this occasion of your birthday, this lovely lady is not only punctilious, but punctual. Mr. President, Marilyn Monroe.
So this is interesting because that's Peter Lawford. That is, he's a British actor. He's also the brother-in-law of JFK. He's married to JFK's sister. So Peter Lawford is sort of the master of ceremonies here for this JFK birthday celebration. And he's just introduced Marilyn Monroe. But this was like towards the end of Marilyn Monroe. She's all pilled out. She's late. Like he introduces her and she doesn't show up. So now there's like this awkward, weird thing.
A woman about whom it truly may be said she needs no introduction. So let me just say, here she is.
No.
But I'll give her an introduction anyway, Mr. President, because in the history of show business, perhaps there has been no one female who meant so much, who has done...
Okay, so this is how you know it's real. Because in the middle of him talking, she just shows up. She like sobers up enough to make it up the steps backstage. Here comes Marilyn.
More. Mr. President, the late Marilyn Monroe.
That's weird because she's going to be dead soon. Look at that hair. That's just bad hair. Okay, I got to be honest. All right, so that just got me. That was kind of hot. Did you see the way that she took a finger and she kind of flicked at the microphone. That was kind of hot. That was like kind of confident. That's kind of like she's been here before. She knows what this is about. She's going to make sure this thing is working. It's kind of hot. Let's watch it again. Oh, yeah. It's a boss.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
All right, we don't need any more of that. She goes on. All right, here's the deal. Did people know? Did people know at that moment that she was having sex with him? Was that a thing that was out there? Were people aware, or was that just something we learned years later? Because here's the other thing that's highly inappropriate about this. JFK is sitting there in a box watching this, being seduced by Marilyn Monroe, who at the time, which I don't understand it, but at the time, the world's most beautiful woman. She's sitting here openly seducing this guy while he's sitting in a box right next to his wife. That's right. Jackie had to sit there with this, and she knew what was going on with these two. Anyway, there you go. I was on this day. That weird-ass Marilyn Monroe birthday song. On this day in 1962. Both of them would be dead very shortly. Antecedently on this day, let's jump forward. 2018, the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle is held at St. George's Chapel. That's this day in 2018. Who cares? 1.9 billion people, they estimated, watched that thing. I wasn't one of them. I didn't watch that one. Nobody cares about Harry. I'm sorry. You know, it's Will and Kate. They're the ones who are in line. They're the next. Will and Kate are the next king and queen. Harry and Meghan, whatever. They're nothing. What do they call it? The heir and the spare. That's what they are. They're the spare. Antecedently on this day in the year 2024, a helicopter crash in Iran leaves 8 people dead, including the country's president. Remember this a year ago? Oh, we were on the verge of war because the Israelis killed the president of Iran. That's what we said at the time. Nothing happened. There was no, I mean, we're still kind of simmering, but haven't we been simmering between these two for 50 years? So I don't know. Anyway, we all got twisted up a year ago over the idea that the Israelis may have killed the president of Iran. But then, you know, it passed and we're okay now. Sure we are. All right, let's move on now to birthdays. These are people who are celebrating birthdays born on this day. I mean, I don't know for sure. I haven't spoken to their mothers, but this is published reports. Birthdays. Born on this day, year of our Lord. Well, he wasn't born under any year of a Lord. 1925, birthday boy, Pol Pot. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, Pol Pot. Cambodian general, dictator, mass murderer, genocide, you know, that Pol Pot. All right, moving on. Born on this day in 1925. Also born on this day in 1925. How about Malcolm X? Malcolm X, American minister and activist, died in 1965, but born on this day in 1925. Born on this day in 1945, the king of the windmill. Then I don't care. I don't think he's a child molester. I don't think he's into kiddie porn. Pete Townsend having a birthday today. Pete Townsend is many things. He's a jerk. Pete Townsend is insufferable. There are very few people who like Pete Townsend. Pete Townsend is an arrogant asshole. But I don't think he's into kiddie stuff. Do you remember where this all came about? Pete Townsend made a mistake back in the early 2000s of sending his computer into a local computer fix-it place. And the computer fix-it place reported Pete Townsend's computer to the police because the police said that they found some disturbing images. And then it all got out that Pete Townsend was into kiddie stuff and all that. No, it was terrible. And we never heard how that shook out. But whatever, we moved on. Happy birthday, Pete. He didn't go to jail. He's no Gary Glitter. So we all lost interest. And, you know, the facts be damned. We don't care. We're moving on. Born on this day. Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear my voice just go? I just said born on this day, and my voice went born, and it like totally collapsed on me. Hold on. Here we go. Born on this day in the year 1946, Andre the Giant. French-American wrestler and actor. He died in like 93, but he's you ever seen that documentary about Andre the Giant? He seemed like such a nice guy. It's like, oh, that's too bad that he's giant-sized, but he seems nice. Antecedently on this day, 1949, Dusty Hill. Oh yeah, American singer, songwriter, bass player. He's Dusty Hill. He's got a big beard. ZZ Top. Come on, of course you know who Dusty Hill is. ZZ Top, born on this day in 1949. Born on this day also in 1949, Archie Manning. That's right, he's the first one. You got Archie Manning. Then he had kids. He had Peyton and Eli. And then he had another kid named Cooper, I think. And that dude had someone named Arch Manning, who's now quarterback in Texas. Anyway, Archie Manning, the guy who started it all. Archie Manning was a great quarterback. But he was unfortunately a great quarterback in a time when, you couldn't do free agency and you couldn't just jump to a team when your contract was up. So he played his entire career with the New Orleans Saints, and they were god-awful. That's really a sad story, Archie Manning, because Archie Manning was every bit as good as, Peyton and Eli and all that shit. He just played on garbage teams. Stuck on garbage teams his entire career. Archie Manning, born on this day in 1949. Born on this day in 1951, the great Joey Ramone. He's one of the Ramones. Singer of the Ramones. Born on this day in 1976, Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett. I remember watching him play in high school. KG. And born on this day in 1983, Michael Che. Michael Che from Saturday Night Live. That guy had one of the most incredible jokes this past weekend. I just really appreciate a well-written joke. It was concerning the white settlers or the white refugees who are being welcomed into America from South Africa. I'm going to try and not ruin this joke because it was worded so beautifully. Michael Che said, the United States is welcoming refugees, white refugees from South Africa. And then Michael Che said, and that's a surprise to me because I thought things were pretty good for white people in South Africa. That must be the Mandela effect. I know you got to know what the Mandela effect is for that joke to work, but that joke is fucking great. If you know the Mandela effect. Of course, the Mandela effect is the phenomena of masses of people believing that something happened when it actually never happened. But for some reason, we all believe it. It goes back to the idea that most people believed that Nelson Mandela had died in prison. That was, of course, Stephen Biko, but people confuse Mandela with Biko. And then in the 90s, when Mandela got out, everybody was like, wait, I thought he died, right? And then he would go. So this phenomena has been termed in psychology the Mandela effect. And Michael Che wrote a great joke about it. And I don't think anybody got it. But anyway, it was a good joke. I understood things are good for white people in South Africa. That must be the Mandela effect. It's a good joke. It's a good joke. Anyway, that's going to do it. Happy birthday, Michael Che. Born on this day in 1983. Let's do some deads. Some people who died. Let's go into quarter 3, dead people. All right, here we go. These are the people who died. These are the people who've died. We're going to decide whether or not they went to heaven or hell. Dead on this day. Oh, fuck it. This person's going to hell. I don't know anything about this person other than their name. They are going to hell on their name alone. And as I say this, I'm reminded we've done this in years past. This person I get every day, they jump out at me and I'm like, fuck this person. They went to hell. Dead on this day in 2015, former second lady of the United States, former second lady. She was the vice president's wife. Happy. Her name is Happy Happy Rockefeller. Fuck her. Your name is Happy Rockefeller? What are you, just rubbing shit in our faces? You're going to hell, Happy Rockefeller. What a stupid name. Happy Rockefeller. Dead on this day in 2015. Dead on this day in 2021, Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney was a comedian. You can look up some pictures. We got a picture here. I'll show you some pictures of him. You may have seen him. He's been in a lot of movies. He was in a lot of movies in the 80s. He was in a lot of movies in the 90s and 70s. If Richard Pryor made a movie in the 70s, Paul Mooney was in it. He was Richard Pryor's primary writer for most of Richard Pryor's great comic stand-up sets, Live on the Sunset Strip and all that stuff. Anyway, here's Paul Mooney. He was a comedian. But he sucked. I mean, he fucking sucked, man. I hated Paul Mooney, and I never really understood what Richard Pryor saw in him, because Richard Pryor was funny, and this guy was just not funny. And there he is from the 70s. He played in a lot of movies with Richard Pryor in the 70s. Anyway, here's the thing about Paul Mooney. Not only was he not funny, but he was incredibly racist. He was like the most openly racist human being that I've ever spent time around. And I was forced to have him on my show because he would come through and he would be at the Improv or whatever. And so we'd interview him because we had to deal with the Improv. But my God, this man hated white people. He said it casually. Like, yeah, you typically don't do interviews with white people. He was very belligerent. He was very arrogant. And then he would sit there and he would just talk and rant and rave. And it was just a weird guy. Also, here's another thing about Paul Mooney. I think he was bitter, like as an older man. I think he was bitter. Well, first of all, he was a gay man, okay? He wasn't out of the closet, and nobody knew that. But if you spend any time around him, you're like, oh, this is a gay man. Oh, he's a gay man. Obviously, he's lived his entire life in the closet. But that's not why, like, he was. Here's another thing about him, okay? So why did he stop working for Richard Pryor, which is something that he never talked about? And I remember Kelly asking him this question once and him not wanting to answer, and it got very weird. But then again, every interview with Paul Mooney was weird. Kelly asked him why he stopped writing for Richard Pryor. We know what the answer is, but we wanted to hear him talk about it. The reason that Richard Pryor basically cut ties with Paul Mooney in the mid-1980s is because Paul Mooney supposedly raped Richard Pryor's son. Paul Mooney supposedly molested Richard Pryor's son when he was like 13 years old, and Richard Pryor basically was going to try and have him killed. Richard Pryor supposedly had a contract out on him, but then Richard Pryor set himself on fire, and all of that stuff happened. And so they went their separate ways. But yeah, anyway, Paul Mooney, kind of a piece of shit. I'm putting him in hell. He was really racist. I usually don't talk to white people, but they tell me I've got to talk. Ugh. Anyway, all right, moving on. Dead on this day. Who else do we got? Happy Rockefeller and Paul Mooney. That's it. All right. Both of them going to hell. I don't know Happy Rockefeller, but I knew Paul Mooney, and that guy was a jerk off. He was not a nice man. All right, let's go. What's going on with Barney? What's Barney talking about? Barney says the Mandela effect is the phenomenon of people being highly suggestible and having shite memories. Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's, what you think happened. And it becomes a mass phenomenon where that becomes the default truth is what people think happened. But that's not what happened for some reason. What is the other one? There's another one called the Streisand effect. There's another one that I don't know what that is, though. Anyway, look that up. Look up what the Streisand effect is. I don't know. They're all interesting. All right, let's get started here. Let's see. All right, big stories. This is what we do here. We talk about our big stories of the day. We're going to run these down. Okay. So here's the big news today. Take It Down Act. There you go. The Take It Down Act has been signed. Bipartisan. Look, we can work together when it comes to stopping our daughters from having naked pictures of them on the internet. The Take It Down Act was signed today by President Reagan. This was a big, hey, look at that. Melania's at the White House. Melania apparently was behind this, so she's sitting there with him signing it. Won't see her again for a few months. It's a good act. This is a good deal. The First Lady championed this and bipartisan. You know who was in on this with the First Lady? AOC. Look at that. First Lady and AOC just bum rushing a bill through. This is the Take It Down Act. Now, what this means is that it is a law now that if you are a social media platform or some kind of content distribution platform, if it is reported to you that something on your site is a deep fake, if it's naked pictures of somebody or whatever, you know what I mean? AI generated fake porn of somebody, revenge porn, whatever you want to call it. These platforms now have 48 hours to remove it, or else they are breaking the law. It's a good law. It's a good law. We need a whole bunch of new laws. We need to have really deep conversation about all of these new things we're experiencing because of the different society we've created. We've created a vastly different society from just 1999. You know, I mean, we need rules now. It's different. We don't meet in person anymore. Now it's all chat rooms and, you know, hanging out together on Discord. And yes, now I'm talking like a father. I was so mad at my kid this weekend. You know, I said to my kid at one point, I said, do you know that we have spent the last 10 hours side by side and you have not discussed anything with me? Nothing. We're just sitting there on the couch watching TV. I'm watching a baseball game. He's on his phone. We're not speaking. I'm like, do we even like each other? He's like, yeah. We're fine. And I'm like, I know we're fine. But I don't know. Whatever. We need new rules. Take It Down Act. All right, very good. That's a good first step. What else is the big story? Big story is Biden has cancer. And I don't give a shit if Biden has cancer. He's an old man. We're all going to have something. Here's what I give a shit about this whole cancer thing. Shut your fucking mouth about cancer, you goddamn ghouls. I can't believe it. You people, what is wrong with you? Gets cancer. He's an old man with prostate cancer. And you people are like doing fucking celebration dances like 3 days after you were all clutching your pearls over the fucking James Coney 8646 or whatever that bullshit was. Shame on you. Shame on you people. Shut your fucking mouths about this old man with cancer. The fuck is wrong with you? All right, that's good. We're done. Biden's got cancer. Apparently it's bad. I don't believe it. All right, well, fuck, you'll be in the dirt in 6 weeks. Believe it then. You people are ghouls, man. You people are fucking ghouls. Cancer? Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ. If there was ever an indication that you are fucking bad people, it's this. It's some old man gets a cancer diagnosis and you people are acting like it's fucking the 4th of July. Gross. Comey doing the stupid thing in the sand with the dumbass seashells. Yeah, he's a fucking idiot too. But that doesn't rise to the level of celebrating someone's terminal cancer diagnosis. The fuck? As our smoke show first lady might say, be bester. All right, let's keep going. Tornadoes. How about tornadoes? Bunch of hillbillies lost their houses again. This is like a weekly thing now in this country. We have tornadoes that take lives and destroy entire towns every other weekend. I'm tired of it. I don't know what to do about it. What am I going to do about it? 17 are dead now. 17. Was this 17 or is it more? Is that number going up? Because I'm sure that number is going to go up. Guys, we had a fucking nutty weekend. We're going to get into all of this stuff. We got Mexican ships crashing into things. 28. I'm sorry. The number is now 28. It's been updated. This is terrible. 28 dead, at least 9 billion in damages after deadly storms and tornadoes sweep across central eastern U.S. You already forgot about the ones from 2 weeks ago, didn't you? Yeah, we forget about them. We just move on. Deadly severe weather outbreak in the central United States causes an estimated 9 to 11 billion in damages and economic losses. At least 28 people have died and dozens more were injured after a devastating wave of severe weather swept across the central United States late Friday into Saturday, leaving a trail of catastrophic destruction. More than 70 tornadoes. Oh, God. Okay, I don't need to get that deep into this. Tornadoes, man. We all know about it. They suck. And what is going on here in North Texas? Can we talk about North Texas these past couple of days? It has been for 72 hours. We have been like a tit hair away from all out Armageddon. Thunderstorms, lightning, and nothing. We've gotten like nothing every day. It's gray and cloudy. What's that? What? Is that thunder? You keep thinking you're hearing shit and nothing happens. Nothing's happened. Let's see what we got here now. Let's see. Technically, because when I walked in here, it was like sprinkling. It's like, let's see what we got. Currently, we've got 85 degrees here in Dallas. Cloudy, highs in the mid 80s and lows in the upper 60s. Okay, that ain't good. 3 p.m. it says it's going to rain. That means it won't. It absolutely won't. I don't know what weather app this is that I have on my phone, but it is the fucking worst. And it is shameless. Like, I will look at the hour by hour or minute by minute radar, right? And I'll be like, oh, I can get a dog walk in here in the next 10 minutes and I'm not going to get trapped outside in the rain. It's useless. It's just, it is said, like last night, I specifically went for a walk between 8:30 and 9 o'clock because it said the rain was going to come at like 9:05. So I go out and I do that walk between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. I get back in the house by 9 o'clock. It never rains. It never rains. And then I go back and I look at my phone and I'm like, wait, did I read that wrong? You just said that it was going to rain. And then they've updated it and they're no longer saying it's going to rain. This is a scam. Weather is a scam. Weathermen and draft experts, no accountability for these people. These people have the easiest jobs in the world. They just tell us bullshit and we go, okay. And when it turns out to be bullshit, we forget and we move on to whatever's next. Anyway, weather. What are we doing weather for? I don't know. All right, let's do this one now because this was a new one on me. Did this happen Saturday or Sunday? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this happened Saturday or Sunday. So they blew up a fertility clinic there in Palm Springs. And when I say they blew up, gather around, kids, because we got a new enemy. That's right. We got a whole new, this one threw me for a loop because, you know, whenever these, it's terrorism. Yeah, it's domestic terrorism. That's the FBI's calling it domestic terrorism. Man, everybody's calling it domestic terrorism. Okay, so domestic terrorism took place at a fertility clinic in Palm Springs. Okay. Now, in the wake of this, there was all kinds of, because this is what we do. We're like, who did he vote for? Right? That's like the most important thing. The bomber. Who did the bomber vote for? I need to know how to feel about this. Like, if you find out you voted the same way as the bomber, you're going to be like, he probably had a point. What the fuck is that? Anyway, everybody's trying to figure out, well, this fertility clinic, it services a lot of gay and lesbian couples, so obviously this is another MAGA guy. And I'm like, oh, fucking shut up. You know, we don't know anything yet. Anyway, that's what they were trying to go with. Turns out, nah, this dude wasn't right. This dude wasn't left. He wasn't like pro-Trump. He wasn't anti-Trump. I mean, maybe he was. I don't know. I haven't gone that deep into his manifesto. My point is this. This guy's reason for blowing up this fertility clinic, well, I didn't see this one coming. This one is new. So this guy, what's his name? He's got a crazy name too. It's like Guy, or where is it? Guy Edward Barkus. Yeah, that's a bad name. Guy Barkus. I'm telling you. Guy Barkus. Guy Barkus probably got the shit kicked out of him on the playground. 25-year-old Guy Edward Barkus. He lived in 29 Palms, California. He identified, this is where I tell you, he comes from a whole new lane here. He identifies as a mortalist, not a moralist. He's not a moralist. He's a mortalist. What's that? Well, he doesn't think his parents had a right to bring him into this world, and that's why he's blowing up IVF. He believes that babies should have the choice to be born or not. It's the most fucked up thing. Yeah, that's who this guy is. One dead, whole bunch of people hurt. FBI called it the largest bombing in Southern California history. That made me immediately go, so I guess they haven't had too many big bombings in Southern California, because this thing isn't like, you know, it blew out it did some damage for sure. And there's a car that looks completely, you know, like a shrinky dink, like it got melted. But I don't know. One person dead, and hey, worked out well because it's Guy Edward Barkus who was the one person dead. He was trying to live stream it, but he couldn't figure it out, which is nice as an older guy that a 25-year-old couldn't figure it out. I'm like, oh, I see. It's not just because I'm old. It's because this stuff is complicated sometimes. Anyway, we don't know anything else about it. Maybe we do. Well, I should say I don't know anything else about it because I lost interest. But there you go. Palm Springs. 25-year-old guy, Edward Barkus, blew up a fertility clinic. One dead, a number of other people injured. A bunch of people at a liquor store across the street got hurt. See? Hanging out at a liquor store on a weekend afternoon. That's not a good place to be. Lesson be learned. All right, let's keep going. Here's a fun one. Hold on, we'll do this. Out of Louisiana over the weekend. I think this was Friday night. Like a whole bunch of inmates escapes. It's one of the biggest prison breaks in U.S. history. It involved inmates crawling through the hole of a displaced toilet. The jailbreak in Louisiana has proven to be so messy that even the governor is blaming the jail and prosecutors for dropping the ball on this. FBI drones, helicopters are being used. One of the escapees even left a note on the wall in which he wrote, "Too easy, LOL." 3 jail workers have been suspended, and officials say helping these guys equals a one-way ticket to jail too. So they believe, the authorities down there in Louisiana, they believe that these inmates are being helped by people on the outside, friends or whatever, if you will. Here, we got some videos. Let's watch. Here we go. These guys bust a whole bunch of dudes, bust out of jail. Let's watch the video. All right. So here's what we're looking at here. So this is inside the jail. What is this, a shitter? Is this a toilet? They seem to be trying to move this door. Here, make sure we got this. All right, so let's watch this play out. Here we go. All right. Shitty-ass jails. All right. All right, now somebody's coming to help. So, like, I need to know, was this something that they had been working on, or was it just a spur of the moment? Here they go. Look at this. This guy bails. Bonk. Look at him. Ugh. That's crazy. Look at that. That's just like a free-for-all. It's like Bastille Day. They opened up the prisons and everybody ran out. There he goes. Yeah. So, like, I guess they caught 3 of these dudes. The fat ones. The ones that couldn't run as fast, I'm guessing. So they caught... Oh, here you go. This is another good video. So this is... Boy, I'm sorry. My voice is... so this is them. They've got out of the prison now, and they're going to attempt to cross this, like, multi-lane highway here. Look at this godforsaken Blade Runner type community. I don't know where the hell this is. But here, they're going to be down here. Okay. There they are. All right. So you're going to see them try and run across this highway. All right. There's one of them. All right. There's one of them going. Make a dash for it. Okay. You got to pick your shot. There he is. What is he in his underwear? Did he strip off his oranges? Look at him. There he goes. Look like a bunch of frat kids doing some kind of initiation running the highway there. All right, there's that guy. All right, what else do we got here? Okay, so here's the toilet that they removed. They yanked this toilet out of the wall, and apparently they squeezed through here. They wrote all kinds of bullshit stuff. I'm innocent. We innocent. Too easy. LOL. I mean, they're taunting him. All right, whatever. There you go. So there's still 7 on the loose. 3 have been caught, and they believe that the 7 who are still on the loose are receiving assistance from family members, and they are warning those family members that you will go to jail if we can put it together. I don't know, whatever. All right, let's keep going. Now, here's another big thing that happened over the weekend that we should opine on. Am I like you? 1, didn't know the Mexicans had a Navy. I didn't know. I didn't think they had a Navy. Did you know the Mexicans had a Navy? 2, what are they doing here? Well, what is the Mexican Navy doing sailing around, New York Harbor? Is that what it's called? What's it called? Hudson Bay. What is that called? That's not Hudson Bay. What is that called? Is it New York Harbor? Whatever. We got a Mexican Navy ship floating around out there. Three. Okay, so the Mexicans have a Navy. What are you guys doing? What is this Navy? What is it? What do you got, a Navy from the 1800s? Did you see this thing? It's like a sailing ship Navy. Four. Mexican. Good-looking Navy ship, man. That was a baller of a good-looking ship. I mean, it doesn't look like it's effective in a modern war. It's dependent on the wind. I mean, I don't know what you're gonna, but man, was that a great-looking ship, huh? All right, so here's the story. Saturday night, there's this Mexican naval ship. Again, don't know what it's doing in New York, but it's doing something. And it's trying to make its way out to sea. And so it goes under the Brooklyn Bridge. But because it didn't clear the bridge, like it's got these gigantic masts, these beautiful masts. The ship was gorgeous. It had like one of them giant, right on the front of this ship, it had one of them giant Mexican flags, like a super patriotic Texas car dealer, like this big giant Mexican flag flying off the front, lit up like Christmas trees. This was like, honestly, one of the most beautiful ships I've ever seen in my life. And then it just smacks right into the Brooklyn Bridge. All right, now I'm going to say all this, and we're going to watch some video here. This is not for the squeamish. There are Mexican Navy dudes up on top of these masts as they slam into the Brooklyn Bridge. And if you look closely and you want to stop it and slow it down, you're going to see human beings fall to their death. But I'm just going to let it play. I'm not going to dwell on that. Good Lord, was this crazy? How the hell does this happen? Here we go. This was Saturday evening there in New York. Beautiful Mexican ship. Here we go. Watch this now.
There's people up there.
All right, here we go. This is video from on the shore. Look at that. Okay, so right here, look at that. That's fucking, it's not, what are they doing? They're saying they were going the wrong way. Well, I don't know if they were going the other way, how they would have cleared it. There's no way that boat can clear that bridge.
There's people up there. What just happened? It's crashing.
What's going on with this dude who's narrating? Is he like getting a kick out of this, or is he just super confused because these emotions are coming fast and furious and he's not really processing them properly?
That had to be on purpose. Yo, did you see the person just fall all the way down? There's some holy fuck. Whoa.
See, look at the giant flag. This is a gorgeous ship, you guys. This is, again, I don't know how effective it is in 2025 naval warfare, but man, is this a beautiful ship. Look at it. Oh my God. And not only that, but you see from other angles, you see the Brooklyn Bridge, the car traffic on the Brooklyn Bridge. You see all the lights slam on. So what happened up there? Did any cars get damaged up there? Could you imagine? You're just driving across the Brooklyn Bridge and then all of a sudden you see this gigantic thing coming over the top of the railing? All right, come on. Civilian camera work is always a pain in the ass.
What
The hell? So they said it lost its rudder and it lost its ability to steer, so it was just drifting, which explains why it's just kind of hugging the side.
Oh my God.
Look at the people hanging. These are dudes hanging from. Look at these guys.
I think someone fell.
Yeah,
Really?
a couple people fell. Yeah, it sure is crazy. Oh my God, you don't expect to see that. Well, why am I doing that? There is. So I don't know. So the Mexican Navy, they got cool ass old ships from the 1800s and they go the wrong way. Did you know there was a wrong way on the river? I didn't know there was a wrong way. It didn't look like it was even close. What, like like the masts from this ship, it wasn't even close to clearing it. It was like the masts are 100 feet taller than the bridge would allow. I don't understand how that happened, but it did. And here we go. Ship was heading in the wrong direction, they say. The ship had lost power, most notably to the rudder. The rudder stopped and the ship could not be steered. Still, it was going the wrong way. 2 dead, more than 200 on board. Dozens have been injured. No word on who the people were who were injured, whether they were people on the top deck, seamen, I guess you will, Mexican naval guys. They were on the top deck. They were hurt, or I don't know if anybody was on the Brooklyn Bridge in a car who was hurt. We still don't know. All right, maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll lose interest before we find out. Who knows? All right, now I want to talk to you guys about this. Right? This isn't political. This is just bullshit, and I want to know how you feel because I'm not so happy about it. Did you guys see our FBI strokers on Sunday morning news telling us about Epstein, how there's nothing to see here and that there's nothing to be revealed and that we've all been told the truth? That's right. These 2 guys that so many of you, I mean, at the very least, I thought maybe at least we get these guys in the FBA, we start finding out some things about UFOs and maybe, the Epstein file, which is basically what all of us wanted. So now we got this Kash Patel idiot and this Bongino fool who was a foolish talk radio guy who spent the bulk of his talk radio time talking about this Epstein bullshit. Well, now they're in an actual position of power to do something. And guess what they're doing? They're going on the Sunday morning TV shows and they're telling us all nothing to see here because they're just as fucking corrupt, if not more, than the people who were there before them. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. Nice fucking suntan, asshole. What the fuck? So here they are. Let's watch it. Here you go. These are your heroes. These are your MAGA fucking heroes who are going to drain the swamp. You and I both know something's going on with the Epstein shit. And I'm not a crazy QAnon person, but I sure as shit don't need people who promised for years to get to the bottom of this to then finally, once they're in a position of power, to tell us that we're all fucking crazy and that we need to move on. These are your heroes. All right, let's check these guys out. Here you go. Here's your boys. It's your fucking alpha dorks. Seriously, I can't wait for both of these guys to end up in prison. They will.
Are you going to be surprised at what you learned?
You know what, Maria? Kash is not kidding. We've been personally briefed extensively on every single detail, nugget, tendril of this case. One is actively in court right now, so out of respect for the case, it's probably more appropriate that I stay quiet on that. However, I'm not going to tell people what they want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth, and whether you like it or not is up to you. If there was a big explosive there, right? Given my history as a Secret Service agent and my personal friendship as a director does with the president, give me one logical, sensible reason we would not have. If you can think of one, there isn't.
Trump's involved, asshole.
In some of these cases, the there you're looking for is not there. And I know people, I get it. I understand. It's not there. If it was there, we...
Nothing. All right, there you go. Remember a couple of months ago when they tried to placate you big balloon heads and they brought those influencers in and they pretended like they gave them new information, and then those influencers went out and, all you people fucking follow these morons, and you followed them and they posted about all this huge new breaking Epstein stuff that they have been given, and it was all fucking bullshit. Do you remember that? Remember, it was all bullshit. It was a lie. It was just a ruse. It was done on purpose to keep you people who they've used at every turn. You MAGA people are just fucking being sucked white dry. They just told you. They told you, like, yeah, here it is. This is it. Close the book on it. Thanks, Pam Biondi. Remember that? Then she spent 3 weeks after that trying to backpedal, saying, well, there is more and we're going to be releasing it. Why was she saying there is more and that it's going to be coming out? Why did everybody say there's more and it's going to come out? And then there's nothing. And now we get these two fucking clown shows on the Sunday morning shows telling us all to move along. Are you okay with that? These are your boys, MAGA. Come get your fucking boys, MAGA. What the fuck? So give us the names. So what about Stephen Hawking? What about Tom Hanks? What about fucking Tom Cruise? What about the fucking Pope? I don't know. What about all of this shit that you guys have been stirring up for years? You got my interest. What about all of that? It's all just nothing now? Bon Jovi, whatever the fuck this guy's name is, on his stupid ass talk show for years. He's like, we'll get to the bottom of this. There's a list there, and we're going to get to. That's what you fucking said on your show for years. And then you get made the assistant director of the FBI, and you go on TV like a couple of months later, and you're like, nothing to see here, folks. You're a part of the fucking machine. You super tanned fucking weirdo. And then the other guy, I don't even know where that fucking Kash Patel guy came from with his bug-ass eyes. Who the fuck is this clown? Nothing to see here, folks. I mean, how about the projection? I love the projection there when he goes, what reason would we possibly have for not telling, fuck you, we don't know. Maybe your boss is on the list, huh? Epstein did live in the fucking Mar-a-Lago Country Club Estates. They were friends. I don't know. Maybe that's a reason, you mother. We'll move on. Anyway, don't worry about it, guys. Stop asking questions about Epstein. MAGA has solved the case for you. Thanks, boys. Go ahead. No. Wait. Let me check the chat room. Let me see. Where are my boys at? Where's my Barney? Where's my Barney and Byron? Where are they at? You guys defending your guys? You still on team fucking Cash and team fucking Bondi and team fucking nothing to see here? You're not, because I know you guys. You guys are real fucking men. This isn't going to sit well with you. Yeah, I am, Byron, having a hormonal day. No, I'm just sick of this bullshit. I'm sick of this bullshit. That was the one good thing that I could see from having these two corrupt motherfuckers in this position was that maybe we'd get a little bit of circuses. That maybe we'd get a little bit of information that other people wouldn't have given us. But no, they're falling in line just like the rest. Nothing to see here. These are your heroes. And yes, Byron, I am a little hormonal. I fucking hate these guys. I hate these guys. This was the only reason that there would have been something to come out of this, was that maybe they would be so fucking desperate to win over the fucking trash of MAGA that they would fucking give us something, and they've given us nothing other than the decision. They've all gotten together in a room and they went, yeah, fuck these people. It's just fucking, we'll tell them there's nothing there. They're fucking stupid. All the shit they believe. We'll just tell them there's nothing there and they will move on. Yeah, be warned, motherfucker. You can't push these people around much longer. There is too much fucking shit happening now where they're going, okay, we got everything. What are you going to give us? Let's go, fucking MAGA. Push back. Push back. Thank you. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Our credit got downgraded. Okay, so there's a thing that also happened over the weekend. I don't know what that means. I thought our credit got downgraded all the time. Doesn't this happen to us all the time? I guess it doesn't happen to us all the time, but it happened to us once before under Obama. And I remember it was like the worst. This is what happens with Obama. Well, now we're downgraded again. So where are those people? J.D. Vance met with the Pope again today. That's right. He's there. He's meeting with the Pope. Gave him a Bears jersey. That's pretty cool. If you're a Bears fan. If you're not a Bears fan, you don't give a shit. J.D. Vance was just there. J.D. Vance was just meeting with the Pope like 3 weeks ago. Remember, the last person to meet with Pope Francis before he died was J.D. Vance. And now he's back. Now he's meeting with Pope Leo. He gave him a nice card from the president and the first lady. And then he gave him a jersey, and it all seemed very awkward. But here we are. All right. What else do we have? Let's see. Hey, we got a new. Want to watch a trailer? Let's watch a trailer. All right, let's do this. Let's watch a trailer. Like I got too mad about the Epstein shit. Seriously, we're not going to get any answers on that. Oh, and I'm the bad guy. I'm the hormonal one because I'm just going to fucking sit here and go, I guess there is nothing to say. Come on, man. Get on my team. Get angry with me. Don't fucking just sit here and be like, well, I guess we're moving on from the Epstein. You know there's something there. You know that there is something fucked up there. And why now are the two people who we've entrusted to get to the bottom of it, why now are they going on the Sunday morning talk shows and telling us there's nothing to see there and to believe them when they say this? You know what we need? We need Superman, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We've got a new trailer. Excuse me. My voice is really bad. I do apologize. All right, let's watch the new Superman trailer. Here we go. This is my favorite superheroes is Superman. Why? Because I'm old. My son reminds me of that. He's like, you only like Superman because you're old. And I'm like, so what? He's still the coolest. Here is the new trailer. We all have big hopes for DC, reigniting the interest that this country once had in Superman. DC has fallen victim to the success, the box office, the endless box office success of Marvel. Sure, DC has their Batman films, but they're not the same. They've been struggling to try and build Superman. And let me tell you something. The superhero movies are like coming to an end. Like, this is like a bad time for DC to be like, let's give it one more try. Because I think that era, I think the era of the superhero big giant film, I think we're all pretty much burned out. Like, there's that movie that's out right now that like looks good, Thunderclaw or something like that. It's one of these Marvel movies. Maybe it's DC. I don't know. But it's like down 49% from its opening weekend. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm very excited about the Superman movie. Here we go. It's the first official trailer. We've seen little snippets. Remember a couple of weeks ago, they released one with the dog where now we go Crypto. Now we know that he's got a dog named Crypto. All right, here you go. The first full Superman official trailer. My comments to follow.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some might.
A lot of fire.
It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny?
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of the United States.
I wasn't representing anybody except for me.
Around the world.
And doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die. Hey, buddy, eyes up here.
Your choices, your actions, that's what makes you who you are.
Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. He's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
dog?
All right, I'm in. Sold opening weekend. I've been waiting an entire lifetime. My sons, I've been waiting an entire lifetime for a Superman movie that I can show my son, or he'll be like, Superman's cool. It hasn't happened. The Batman versus Superman movie that came about at a terrible time for my championing of Superman. My son is like, Batman won that, and Batman won that because they had to. I try to explain to my son, if you are going to make a movie called Batman versus Superman, I promise you that Batman is going to win. And he's like, why? Why would that be? And I'm like, because anybody looking at Batman versus Superman would say, well, obviously Superman has far more and greater powers than Batman. Superman has laser beams that shoot out of his eye. He can end Batman in a second. So in order to make it a movie worth watching, you have to figure out a way to let Batman win. So I've been trying to explain that to my son for a decade now, and he's like, no, Dad, get over it. Batman won. Like, he cheated. He cheated. So I'm very excited about the new Batman movie. All right, guys. Honestly, we are only 1 hour and 8 minutes into this show, and we're done. We're out. I've got nothing more other than the Diddy stuff. We can talk about the Diddy stuff, but I'm doing that as a whole show later tonight. Diddy or Didn't He? Full panel show. Myself, Headcrack from Dish Nation, and James Parker from WBAP 93.3. They'll be joining me as we break down day 6 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial. We got we got cross-examination of Dawn Richard. That's right. I've been calling her Dawn Richard. Dawn Richard is a former member of Danity Kane, who is another performer that Diddy abused. Dawn Richard, as I was calling her, it's Dawn Richard. Dawn Richard is also suing Diddy civilly in a separate case where she says that he groped her and all that stuff. But she is a witness to a number of the beatings that Cassie is supposedly saying that she took. So Dawn Richard has been testifying in this case as to what she saw, and also offer the prosecution more context as to how common and how this was just the universe that Diddy had created, this violence. So she was up Friday. She took the stand Friday, where prosecution had their go at her. Prosecution had their go at her this morning, and then Cross came in. Dawn Richard, I think, is done. Yes, I believe she is done. And now Carrie Morgan takes the stand. Carrie Morgan is a former model. She's really cute. She's a blonde lady. She's 40 now, but she used to be really hot, and she was Cassie's best friend. Cassie and Carrie Morgan were best friends back when Cassie was in a relationship with Diddy. Cassie got Carrie a job with Diddy as his personal assistant. Cassie says that she was beaten by Diddy as well. Here's what happened. Here's what Carrie Morgan, Cassie's former best friend, testified to today on the stand. Carrie Morgan said that once, when Diddy was suspicious of Cassie and believed that Cassie was having a relationship with another guy, Diddy went to Carrie Morgan, his assistant and his girlfriend's best friend. He went to her to try and find out more about who Cassie was, hooking up with, or so he believed. In doing this, he apparently beat the crap out of Carrie Morgan. He tackled her. He gave her a concussion. He pounded on her and all that kind of stuff. Carrie Morgan, she testified to this today in court. She was asked, what did you do after he beat you up? And she said that she went to the hospital where she was diagnosed with a concussion, and she was going to go to the police, but then she decided that she would file civil charges against him. But before she could actually file civil charges, she was contacted, Carrie Morgan, remember she was tackled and beat up by Diddy because Diddy wanted to know who his girlfriend was cheating on him with, and he thought Carrie Morgan might know. So after this happened to her, like a day later, she received a phone call from her friend Cassie Ventura, who said, meet me for lunch at this place. And they went and they had lunch. And it was at that point that Cassie gave Carrie Morgan a check for $30,000 and had her sign a non-disclosure. And Carrie Morgan testified today that that was the last time she saw her best friend of 17 years, Cassie. And why is this big? Now, again, this came out in the cross-examination of Carrie Morgan. Carrie Morgan is, of course, another witness for the prosecution, but the defense gets to take their licks. What the defense was able to do with Carrie Morgan was they were able to show that there was a period of time when Cassie, who was also claiming to have been a victim herself, didn't exactly show solidarity with her best friend and victim, raising the question as to why. Why did Cassie Ventura, after Carrie was beaten up, why did Cassie Ventura show up with a check for $30,000 to keep her quiet and a non-disclosure to ensure that she's quiet? Why didn't she just go to her friend and say, "You're my best friend, we're going through this together"? No. The defense is trying to show that Cassie was a part of this world, that she put up with it until she had convinced herself that, maybe there was nothing in it for her anymore. But as long as Cassie believed, and this is this is just me watching everything, not watching, but reading and going through every bit of testimony that has been spoken on the stand there in that courthouse in New York City. I have read it all. And I have not. And I got to get caught up. I got to get caught up on what happened today in the second half of today after lunch, because I only covered it up until lunch today. So maybe something will change. But the prosecution is not making their case. And the defense is leaning into and allowing for any number of examples of Sean Diddy Combs being violent, being an abuser, being somebody who knocks people around with regularity. The defense is totally okay with that. The defense wants that there. And again, because that's not what he's being charged with. He's being charged with these really big crimes. And all that's being proven in court is that he beats up women. So, unfortunately, there is no charge in this case. This jury is not there to render a judgment on whether or not he's beating up women. And it's just, it looks bad. If you're just reading this, it looks bad. As somebody very, very up on this case said, this is ritualistic humiliation. That's what's happening. This guy is being humiliated. None of this shit is going to stick. He's not on trial for any of this shit, but we are bringing it all up. Peeing on people, smearing jizz all over. They are humiliating him. And it doesn't seem like, and maybe it's deserved. I'm not saying it's deserved or it's not deserved, but what I am pointing out is that it's the job of the prosecution to get justice for the victims. And it doesn't seem like the prosecution is doing a very effective job at convincing anybody in the courtroom that this is some high-level global sex trafficking ring that he was in charge of. He's a rich guy who's a piece of shit, a pervert, a violent individual. He's all of these things, and unfortunately, you've not charged him with any of that stuff. You're trying to get him for life on something that I just have not seen any evidence of yet. So, okay, we'll have a full breakdown, full panel show today on Diddy versus the world. No, we call it Diddy or Didn't He? I'll tell you right now, as far as what he's being charged with, he didn't. I am not seeing any proof or any evidence that he did any of these things he's being charged with. Yeah, he beats up women. He's like sitting there smiling. He's like, yeah, smack a bitch around. Bet you wish you charged me with that now that I'm sitting here fucking admitting to it. No, he didn't. He didn't admit to it. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, can't get him for that. Overcharged. I think he was overcharged. All right, so join us tonight. Radio Misfits, radiomisfits.com. It'll post tonight probably after 8 o'clock. Diddy or Didn't He? Full panel show as we cover day 6 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial in New York. It's myself, James Parker from WBAP, and Headcrack from Dish Nation. Again, that's tonight. Radio Misfits, radiomisfits.com. Or if you want to watch it, because, we are all on camera, you can go to Radio Misfits on Facebook. Yeah, I'm going to be there. Or Radio Misfits on YouTube. Radio Misfits, Radio Misfits, Diddy or Diddy. Let's see. What else do we have here? Hold on. Wanted to go through this. Apparently there's now a podcasting chart. Have you seen this? I know I said we were done, but there are a couple of other things. We can go through this podcasting chart. Where is it? Apparently there is now a top 100 podcast charts. Let me see if I can find this list. YouTube released first ever podcast rankings. All right, let's see. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. You want the top 10? Can I give you the top 10? This is YouTube ranking the top listened to podcasts. All right, number 10 is Dr. Insanity. Anybody know what Dr. Insanity is? I have no idea. I've never heard of Dr. Insanity. Number 9, Schmoosh Reads Reddit Stories. Schmoosh Reads Reddit Stories. That's number 9. I don't know what that is. Good Lord, but it's the number 9 most listened to podcast on YouTube, so it's got to be making money. Number 8, this past weekend with Theo Von. He's doing a good job with podcasting, Theo Von. Number 7, Club Shay Shay. That's right. Shannon Sharp. What was he, see how quickly we forget? What did he do recently? He's got the number 7 podcast in the world right now on YouTube. So whatever it is that he did that we talked about him doing a couple of weeks ago, whatever it was, didn't affect him at all. Number 7, Club Shay Shay. That's big. What does he do? This is some girl. Some girl said that he did something to, I don't know. It was something bad, wasn't it? I thought it was something bad. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what Shannon Sharp did. Anyway, this podcast is number 7 right now on the inaugural YouTube podcast top 10 list. Number 6 on the YouTube top 10 list, something called H3 Podcast. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what the H3 podcast is. Number 5 on the podcast charts here on YouTube, something called the Meidas Touch podcast. Number 5, the Meidas. Okay, I see now. It's a left-wing political thing. The Meidas Touch podcast. Number 4, 48 Hours. Yeah, that 48 Hours. It looks to be just a podcast version of the CBS long-running news magazine show, 48 Hours. It's number 4, 48 Hours. Number 3 is a show called Rotten Mango. Don't know what that is. No idea what Rotten Mango is, but I wish him continued success because number 3 is very big. All right, and the 2 and the 1. Kill Tony is number 2. Tony Hinchcliffe's podcast, Kill Tony, is number 2. And number 1, Joe Rogan. You remember a couple of weeks ago when they were like, Joe Rogan's not the number 1 anymore? Well, here we go. Joe Rogan's number 1 again. There you have it. Let's see what else they got here. Let's go random. Let's just go random. Oh, my God. This list goes all the way down. Oh, geez. Gil's Arena. Gilbert Arenas has the number 20th listened to podcast on YouTube. That's pretty good. I just watched Gilbert Arenas. I just watched Gilbert Arenas and whoever the guy is that he pulled guns on. Remember Gilbert Arenas with the Washington Wizards got in trouble in the locker room? Him and another player, Tavares Crittenden. They drew guns on each other. Anyway, it's featured in Untold, which is one of the new Untold documentaries there on Netflix. It's very good. Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas is a douchebag, but look at him. He's got the number 20 podcast in the world, Gil's Arena. Yeah, okay, I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's interesting on here. A whole bunch. I've never heard of any of these. I've never heard of any of these shows, and yet they're all making money because they're all in the YouTube top whatever. All right. Congratulations there, YouTube. All right, let's see. Is there anything else? Let's see. Let's just go through the news, shall we? Anything I miss? I'm just going through some news sites and ignoring all of the politics. Kevin Spacey having a moment, huh? Kevin Spacey's back. The uncanceled is what the headline here says. Kevin Spacey having a bit of a moment at Cannes Film Festival. He's being honored at a big gala dinner. That's right. I like that. Good for Kevin Spacey. I mean, I'm sure he's a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong. Kevin Spacey seems like a total dickhead. But, the whole cancellation thing, him being honored and people just rolling their eyes and being, yeah, whatever. He's a good actor. We like him acting. I do. I love him as an actor. So I'm glad Kevin Spacey's going to be back. But, it irritates the people who are all into like canceling in the first place. Oh, what about the victims? Shut the fuck up. He's got no victims. He's not a serial killer, okay? He's a gay dude who likes to fucking shoot his shot with people who aren't into him. That's basically the crime of Kevin Spacey. He shot his shot as a creepy old gay dude trying to get with young gay guys. That's what he did. That's why he has to be exiled to Elba like Napoleon. He's not allowed to act anymore. Okay, there he is. What else? Oh, here's some interesting talk. There's conversation that doesn't matter what happens with Diddy because Trump's going to pardon him. I don't know if I believe that. Come on. Those people are smart enough to wade into that bullshit, unless it's just all bets are off at some point. Like if this administration is just like, yeah, fuck it, no constitution, we're going to do whatever we want. We're going to try and get away with as much as we fucking can whenever we can. Maybe then I could see them, pardoning Diddy. That whole fucking weird, freaky New York sex boys club. But I don't think so. I don't think they want to wade into that. Unless, of course, it's an opportunity to own the libs. Then they'll do it. Yeah, then they'll let Diddy out if it's an opportunity to own the libs. Because that's a big thing that they do there. Why do you want to own the fucking libs? Those people are gross. How about ignore the libs? Let's do that. Let's fucking ignore the libs. Yeah. What else do we have here? We got nothing else. I think that's going to do it. How's the chat room? Sports Bros wants to know if Shockhouse made the list of YouTube's popular. Sadly, no. Shockhouse is not on the list. Billy Falk in the chat room. He's a trivia guy. We like Bill. We see him every week. Bill's like one of my best friends now in the chat room because I actually sit with Bill and April every week. Maybe you could come out. Maybe I could sit with you guys and maybe we could be friends. But Bill says as soon as he gets acquitted, Puffy will leave the country. Russell Simmons is chilling in Bali. Yeah. Well, still going to be a billionaire. Man, it's hot in here. Has it started to rain yet here in North Texas? Or is it just not going to rain? I guess I can ask that question. Is it rain yet? 3 o'clock, it says it's supposed to rain. It is 3:24. Look at this right here on my phone. It says 3 o'clock. It's supposed to be raining. See, 3 o'clock. See it right there? 3 o'clock, 82 degrees, rain showers and lightning. It is not raining. But whatever. There you go. Mel Kiper and weathermen. There is no accountability for these people. All right, folks, that's it. One more time, I want to remind you, tomorrow night, make your plan. Come out and play trash trivia with me. I got to write some trivia questions. I got 2 categories left I got to write. Come on out, play trash trivia tomorrow, 4060 Beltline Road, located right there on Beltline between Midway and Marsh. It is the Back 9 trash trivia. Also, don't forget, Diddy or Didn't He? That's right, Diddy or Didn't He? Tonight, we'll post a new one, episode 6, panel show, me, James, Headcrack, all of that. Guys, I'm trying to stretch it out. I love you. Back tomorrow with more rant, more useless conversation. I got nothing else. All right, I love you guys. You're the best.